still can't see what this says because I'm inside of Amber's shop right now. Yes, we're good to go. We're live. Okay. So we are live, but I have to be on here in order to see what people are saying. 2 people are watching. Thank you for staying tuned to our shenanigans as we try to get this thing together here. So I'm Sirena Thomas. You guys already know that though. And I'm here with Miss Amber. Okay. Amber, you have a channel, don't you? No, she doesn't.
I'm on TikTok.
She's on TikTok. Tell me what it is to you.
So I'm on Instagram, that's at sweet, type out the word and chic, CICH events. And I'm also on Facebook, sweet and sign chic events. And I'm also on TikTok, that is sweet chic 30.
Okay. So why are we even live? This is totally impromptu, guys. This is not something we planned. We were literally sitting here. So my co-working space is like right. We're all in the same building. The co-working space is around the corner. She has all kinds of sweet treats and things in here, and so we have to walk past her in order to get to the bathroom and anywhere else in this good building here. And Amber and I talk all the time. My kids spend a lot of time inside her shop because we homeschool them and all that good stuff. So they're always over here. And we were talking the other day. How did you even find out I was doing anything about government contracting?
Through your podcast.
Oh,
Yes.
Okay.
Mhm.
Okay. She was on my podcast.
Yes.
Okay. So she was on my podcast and you heard me talking about what?
Because you were doing a conversation. I can't remember her name, but she worked for the SBA.
Oh, Miss Paula.
Yes.
Yes.
So I was listening to that. And then I kept hearing about federal government contracts. And I was like, what is that? I'm like, well, like, what can you sell to the government? Like, can I sell desserts? Can I, like, what are they looking for?
Yeah.
And then I started researching, I listened to your podcast and stuff. And I was like, you can sell pens and pencils to the government and make all this money. Like, what's my
Yeah, so the biggest misconception about government contracting is I don't have anything to sell to the government.
Right.
Or why would the government buy from me? Those are usually like the kind of questions people ask all the time. So I decided to go grab the tripod and the phone, and we will have a quick conversation right here live on YouTube because I'm trying to do better by my YouTube audience because y'all so nice and stuff, and I don't post enough. So I figured I would just like go live and have a conversation. So in the middle of her sentence, I told her to stop talking and ask me what you about to ask me on the camera so that the other people that are newbies can hear as well. Okay. So the first thing I wanted to say to something you said earlier was government contracting, again, does not have to be intimidated. It does not. They do literally buy everything. And you don't have to come in trying to figure out, oh, can I buy them this? Can I sell them this? Can I sell them that? Do I have to go, get accounts and find out how to ship them tires and all that? You're in the restaurant business, kind of, right?
Yes.
And so food service. So it only makes sense that you start within a realm that you know.
Right.
You understand what I mean? Like, you can't be defeated in what you know. And so, yes, they buy baked goods. As a matter of fact, literally the other day, I was looking for 10-pound bags of blueberry cake mix. That's what they needed for the Federal Bureau of Prisons. They needed 10-pound bags of blueberry cake mix. And I'm like, blueberry cake mix? First of all, Google that. Hard to find. They had red velvet, they had banana, they had all these kinds, but the blueberry, because again, the government tells you exactly what they need. And for me, it's always fun to help small businesses discover that the same way your one-off customer buys, the government buys like that, but just bigger. And so there are multiple ways Amber can do business with the government. When we think about purchase cards and things like that, so there are people in their offices with a purchase card. Like they have a purchase card. They're allowed to make a government purchase.
Okay, I heard about that on YouTube.
And it's almost like a credit card. Right. Now, You don't have to go online and find those opportunities. Even locally, if there's, and I talk about my experience with the Veterans Administration building, but other government agencies or government bases, if they wanted to buy from you and want the government to pay for it, guess who can use their purchase card? The purchase card holder at the office. So if they were having at the a party, a lunch, a thing for new trainees, who knows?
Right.
And they say, oh, we know this bakery down the street. They do, desserts. That's a government contract right there.
Okay.
It's just the government using, it's just the purchase card holder using their purchase card and buying 12 dozen, 15 dozen, 1 dozen. And there you are doing business with the government.
Wow. And I was thinking it's mostly like just shipping things out. I wasn't thinking locally.
And one of the things we go over in the course, like, and my team is going to get me if I tell y'all too much because they be on me like this. One of the things that that I say in the course is one of the first things you want to do is find out who's near you. What government agencies are near you. Start local because you're scared. Let's just be honest.
Right.
Okay. So if you see something in Tennessee, you're gonna be like, sounds good. How do I? Because your mind is still being conditioned to see opportunity everywhere. Right. I see something in Tennessee, I'm like, let's get it.
Yeah.
I've never been to Tennessee, let's be clear. Okay. But if I see something, I'm not afraid because I know logistically like that's possible. I've done it before and I've seen it happen. So that's a low level opportunity, but that's an opportunity. Yeah. You had to order some equipment to do what you're doing here.
Yes.
These came from companies. There are government facilities that have need of similar equipment. You know who to call to get this thing. I don't even know what this thing is called. Okay, what is that?
It's a display case.
It's
just a refrigerated display case.
Okay, by Events-Go or whoever that is. Boom. You have a catalog for their?
Yes, well, actually, I went through Websterant and they sell that brand. Okay. So you can go through that website or you can just go directly to the company.
Got it. Yes. So, I mean, again, the thing that I'm helping you do, like in our courses, the thing that I try to help you do the most is literally take what you already know, take your transferable skills and connect it to a government opportunity. And it doesn't have to be big and intimidating. It can be small and manageable to get started. Right. And you build one relationship at a time, like you would build a relationship with any other organization. Right. One at a time.
Yeah, and it's so amazing. Like I didn't know like you can sell food to the government. I just think it's like, like paper, pencils, parts, that kind of thing. I didn't know that they actually buy food. And I didn't know you can do things with the federal prison. Because I don't know. I don't think about the prison being part of the government, even though it is.
Very much so.
Yes. So I just didn't realize how much opportunity there was.
Yeah, man.
I'm like, what have I been doing all my life? Like I could have been a multi-millionaire by now.
Well, listen, you one day at a time.
That's true.
One day at a time, one opportunity at a time. And when you know better, you do better.
Yes, exactly.
And so I'm really excited about having the opportunity, one, to work with you. She's new in our Facebook group. If you want to get over to our Facebook group, it's on Facebook. Mission 500K, Government Contracting Simplified, I think is what it is. But I mean, again, we're just discussing some of the ways that she can do business with the government, and she's here locally selling her goods, selling her services, And there are ways to monetize what she already knows how to do. And then of course you can graduate to bigger opportunities, but you'll be surprised. I mean, there are catering opportunities.
I heard, I was like, they got like multi-million-dollar contracts for catering.
Yeah,
like,
there are
wow.
multi-million-dollar contracts, there are six-figure contracts, there are $15,000 contracts.
Yes.
For catering. And for me and our group, we focus primarily on opportunities that are like $250,000 and below.
Okay.
And $250,000 below, that's our simplified acquisition threshold. So we try to help you, win the simplified acquisitions. And then I work on micro purchases, which are $10,000 and under. Now, the thing about a catering contract, for example, logistically what goes into catering, right? And so getting the catering contract doesn't mean that you have to cook the food. Because logistically how to manage a catering contract, you can have someone else do the food. You can oversee the contract. The best skill you can have in government contracting is project management. Because you're literally managing paper and projects. And so most small businesses, if you're only focused on what you can do with your hands and your time, all of which are limited,
very much so,
you're already defeated. That's the great thing about government contracting. You're not limited by what you can do with your hands or what you can do with your time. You're able to oversee contracts. You're able to manage contracts, manage people. If you know what the government wants and you can connect that to other people that can get it done for you.
And I know a lot of caterers who are excellent, so I don't have to do that part.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And I'm not talking about there's a lot of talk about like middlemen and pass-throughs, and I'm not even talking about subcontracting. But I'm talking about you being able to manage the contract without you physically doing the work.
That's what I want to do. I just want to see the money. I don't want to be out in the field.
So, is this helpful for you guys? Like, if you're watching us, let's see if they can still hear us, first of all. Oh, yeah, they can. This looks good.
I know it's helpful for me, and I can't wait for the course.
Yeah, so, what else do you think people struggle with understanding about government contracting? Anything else?
So I know you don't have to have certification, but your business does have to be licensed under SAMs, that you were saying?
Yeah.
Okay.
So there are,
So you have to have a legitimate business.
Yeah,
Okay.
and legitimate meaning you can be a sole proprietor or you can be an LLC.
Okay.
So you need to be registered to do business, in your state, but you have to register on SAM. Like that's the system for award management is the only way you can actually get contracts.
Okay.
So you got to be registered on there, and that registration is straightforward. In the course, we teach you how to register properly. We also have something called a DSBS boot camp, and DSBS is the Dynamic Small Business Search. So when I was talking about that Marine Center or whatever that might be close by, who's about to have a party and they're looking for something sweet and they got a purchase card and they can purchase from you. If they were trying to find somebody and say they want to spend money with a company that's in a hub zone, we're in a hub zone. Okay. So you also qualify for hub zone certification. Okay. You don't know that yet, but because we're in the same building. Right. So if they're looking for someone and let's say they want to spend with their purchase card and they want to spend in a hub zone, they go to the DSBS, which is Dynamic Small Business Search, and they can pull up, restaurant or suites or bakery in this zip code or this zip code, and you come up. Okay. That's the Dynamic Small Business Search. And honestly, most people that are registered at SAM don't do the extra checkbox for the Dynamic Small Business Search, and you do yourself a disservice because it's not filled in right. But in the course, we show you how to fill that in, how to update your DSBS profile and all that good stuff too. So they come to me and say, hey, this is how much we want to pay you, or I tell them, hey, this is how much it is for the actual catering. Yeah, no, they'll ask you how much it is.
Okay.
But again, on a purchase card, they can, they can just use that as their method of payment.
Right.
But they're not gonna say, okay, I'm gonna pay you $3,000 and give me. No, they can't
Okay.
do that. They're buying like anybody else would buy.
Okay.
You tell them how much. Yes. Yes, and the answer is yeah. You better believe it, but especially if your customer has has a couple dollars to spend. Now we don't gouge, and I don't recommend that on this channel. I have some very interesting pricing strategies, and I show you how to find historical pricing. And even if we wanted to, like, I could go into one of the systems and see what the government has spent on cakes and pies and cupcakes.
Okay. And then even with the catering thing, I can still do, like, if they wanted the blueberry pancakes mix and stuff like that, I can still do those contracts too.
For sure. So yes. So can you do service and product contracts? Is what you're saying?
Yes.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely. I actually recommend. Okay. They're gonna stop me in a minute. My team is definitely going to be like, girl, enough. I recommend, and I do this on the course. Hey, Wally. I recommend that as many as possible, right? All service companies do product as well. Like, product is my sweet spot. I enjoy supplying product because it doesn't talk back and it don't call out, right? And go where you're supposed to, where you send it, and all of that good stuff. Yeah. But I do, even if you're a construction company, okay, you're used to doing general contracting and working with tradesmen and doing all these, all the service of it, right? Maybe you used to slinging the hammer and all the stuff. But what about the contracts to supply the supplies, right? So you use the sheetrock to do what you do, but what about the contracts that are just for sheetrock?
Makes sense.
Why don't you set yourself up to be able to just supply the sheetrock?
Right.
Why don't you, instead of knowing that you use that fence to go in and out of, how about you get a contract to supply the fence?
Right. Makes a lot of sense.
You see what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, because that's in your wheelhouse.
Right.
You already know it. It's a service. I mean, it's a product connected to a service you already supply. Right. Just like I was talking to Tim one time about the gym. The government buys gym equipment. We have a whole fitness center, 13,000 square foot right here. And while they don't supply gym equipment to regular people, you have a huge gym with state-of-the-art equipment. Right. So you have access to state-of-the-art equipment, the same way you would have to order a new treadmill if this one break. Why wouldn't you order 15 treadmills and send it to the government because they asked for it? So you have access to product all the time. It's just you have to be connected with somebody who can help you facilitate those opportunities. Right. For some of y'all, I'm that somebody. Yes. For others, I am not. Okay, because I'm not for everybody, and I'm okay with that. Totally.
And also, can you have multiple contracts going at the same time?
Yeah, girl.
Okay.
You got as many as you can handle.
Okay.
So yes, absolutely.
Well, that was informational, and I can't wait to sign up for the course. You guys invest in yourself, invest in Sirena, because she will get you together. And like they say, there's plenty of money to be made.
Yeah, man.
And I know y'all got it. So this is my ticket out.
Listen, and it's gonna take your persistent, consistent effort. That's what it's gonna take. But if this has been helpful and you are actually live watching, can you just say something in the chat? Say thank you, or say this was good, or this was terrible, whatever you thought. Either way, we're here. So just let us know that you actually hear us and see us, and this has been helpful to you. And that's all we're gonna do for today. I think we gave a lot of good information. We did,
without giving too much.
Yeah, I mean, you just got a whole basically coaching session right here. Her whole getting started right here live as I was on my way back from the bathroom. And we just grabbed the tripod and made it happen. So thank you to those that are watching, and we appreciate you. I don't know, I can't see what to say, but I see some hands, so that means something. All right. Now we stop it on here.